United Nations is urging Israel to open all border crossings into Gaza in an effort to increase the flow of humanitarian aid. For more on this, let's bring in Arwa Damon. She is the president and founder of the International Network for Aid, Relief, and Assistance. Arwa, great to see you, and thanks for making time. I want to start with asking you about what's happening on the ground. What are you hearing about how much aid is actually getting into Gaza?
I mean, look, nowhere near enough, especially not to begin to reverse the impacts of Israel's deliberate starvation campaign or the famine that was taking place. We do need those, at the very least, 600 trucks that were agreed upon. And we're still in a situation where, even though President Trump may have declared peace in the Middle East, he may have declared that the war is over, there is still very much an active, ongoing war, and that is the war on aid and the weaponization of aid. We are seeing an increase of trucks coming across, yes, but keep in mind that that's a comparison to a baseline that was very close to zero, and we have an entire population of 2 million people that is trying to survive in what can only be described as apocalyptic circumstances. And so just try to imagine what you would actually need to keep yourself alive and your family alive if everything around you was reduced to dust. That is what Gaza needs right now in significantly higher quantities than what we are seeing at this stage. That being said, you do have some commercial trucks that are getting across, so there is produce on the markets that has not been there in months, but it remains highly unaffordable for the vast majority of the population. And for us as organizations, we're still scrambling with meager resources, trying to alleviate the suffering of as many people as we quite possibly can. But our capacity to do that continues to remain hindered mostly by Israel and the restrictions that are still in place.
Arwa, earlier this month, the World Health Organization had said almost 42,000 people in Gaza right now are living with life-changing injuries that happened from this conflict, including more than 10,000 children. What kind of help are those people getting right now that there is a ceasefire in place? Are they getting the help they need?
If they're in Gaza, the short answer to that is no. And among those numbers, you have, for example, 5,000 people who have had limbs amputated. You have roughly 2,000 people with spinal cord injuries. You have, thousands of others that have severe facial injuries, injuries to their eyes. These are all injuries that require very specialized treatments, physical therapies that do not exist in Gaza right now. We don't just need food aid to be coming across the border. We need medicine, we need medical equipment, we need significant, highly sophisticated testing devices. And we also need, and this is very important, for a surge in medical evacuations. There are 15,000 people at least right now on a medical evacuation list. And the challenge in trying to get people out is not just going through the process that Israel has put in place, but that countries are not stepping forward and saying, we will take medical cases outside of Gaza. And this is something that the international community, that leaders, if they truly do want to try to help civilians in Gaza, can step forward, urge themselves, and actually have their countries undergo. And there's things that are lacking in Gaza, like baby incubators. You have babies not just sharing one incubator, but actually having to share amongst each other a single oxygen mask. And so everything needs to really be rebuilt from scratch. And that's not even beginning to talk about the mental health impact that this has had, not just on adults who can barely verbalize what it is that they have been through, but on children as well. And we're seeing very severe signs of that.
Okay, a dire situation there, Arwa. Thank you.